Washington football fans, Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and on today's video, we're going to be looking at the 2021 preseason schedule. I'm going to tell you which game I have my eyes on, and hopefully everyone is going to be watching as well. And at the very end of today's show, I'm going to give you 4 things that every Washington football team fan needs to be watching out for. So hopefully everyone's going to be watching the preseason, right? Because it's important to actually watch these games to see some of the rookies, to see some of the UDFAs, some of the younger players, maybe not so much of these household name guys, and where they can make an impact on this team. You're going up against the New England Patriots on August 12th. Then you got the Cincinnati Bengals on August 20th, and then you're wrapping up the preseason on August 28th up against the Baltimore Ravens. So go down in the comments section right now, because that's what Chat Sports is known for. Shows by yourself are boring, but when you have an interactive audience like we do, that's what we really predicate ourselves on, and that's what we want to be able to see. So every person that comes across this video, I want you to type Y for yes or N for no. Will you watch the preseason? And I hope everyone's going ahead and typing that Y for yes. So the first preseason game is on the road up against the New England Patriots in Foxborough. This one is a little bit of a Thursday night football action. I'll be curious to see how the Washington front does up against maybe Cam Newton, maybe it's Mac Jones. Those are going to be some things I watch for here in this matchup. Cincinnati Bengals, week 2, welcome to Washington. Joe Burrow, is he 100% healthy? But I'll tell you what, I really want to be able to see how some of these new receivers end up working out for Washington. If Antonio Gibson's fully healthy, we'll get to that here in just a little second. But this one is on Friday on August 20th. Wrapping up the preseason is week 3. If we go back in the time machine to 2 years ago, the last time we saw preseason football, usually the third preseason game was the most important. It was the game that a lot of the starters would come out and play. You'd probably get, up to like halftime. I don't know if that's going to happen this year. Maybe it's the second preseason game is going to be the most important one, but this is going to be a game, if it is the starters, Lamar Jackson, how does this team do against a mobile quarterback? So out of those 3 preseason games, which one is the one that you are most intrigued by? Which is the one where you're like, you know what, Mitch, if I'm going to watch one preseason game, that's the game I'm going to go ahead and watch. If it's the New England Patriots, I want you to type P for New England, type B for the Bengals, type R for the Ravens. If this was a regular season football game, I would probably go ahead and type my R for Ravens, but I'm starting to think that second preseason game is where you're going to see the most starters come out and play. So maybe I'll go ahead and type B. All right, so what are the 4 things that every Washington football fan should be watching for during the preseason? Number 1, I don't want to see Ryan Fitzpatrick. I want to see Ryan Fitzmagic, because here's the issue with him. When he's supposed to start, he doesn't play all that well. When he's not supposed to start, and then he comes out and starts slinging it around, that's the great version. Are we going to see some Ryan Fitzmagic, or are we going to get Fitzpatrick? Number 2, how does Jamin Davis look? Anytime you take a player in round 1, I'm curious, but for a player like Davis, he does not have a lot of playing experience, especially at Kentucky, had over 100 tackles this past year. He's a freak athlete, and I want to see how that translates on the NFL field. Let's go to number 3. Is Gibson ready to break out? I love fantasy football, and the amount of people that are going to be talking about Antonio Gibson breakout seasons, I'm telling you, and if he busts off a big run, dude, the hype train's going to get out of control. The last thing coming up here is Landon Collins healthy? Even if he is healthy, I'm not 100% sure whether or not you actually see him in a preseason game. But when you went out, you signed him to a pretty hefty contract, suffered a pretty wicked Achilles injury, and I want to see if he's 100% healthy. And if he is, that's going to help out this defense a whole lot.